Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. The world's richest billionaire was faced with a difficult decision, finding a successor to take over his empire. Instead of choosing an outside successor, he decided to challenge his 5 children, who were probably destined to be his successors. This competition is not just about finding out who has the ability to manage assets most effectively, but also about testing the creativity, flexibility and loyalty of those chosen. This will open up a dramatic race between people with outstanding strength and abilities, to determine who will be this billionaire's successor. How did he challenge, and who did he choose? Let's find out through this video. We can see, he challenged children through lunches. Daily Mail newspaper said billionaire Arnault has 5 children including Delphine, 48 years old, Antoine, 45 years old, Alexandra, 30 years old, Frédéric, 28 years old and Jean, 25 years old. They all hold important roles in the LVMH empire, of which Mr. Arnault is the chief executive officer, CEO. This group owns a series of world-famous luxury brands such as Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior and Tiffany & Company. But which of billionaire Arnault's 5 children could one day succeed him? The answer is still a secret. Despite monthly lunches with his potential successors, it is believed that billionaire Arnault is still unable to name a winner. Choosing a successor was not an easy decision for Arnault. When asked which child he considered most likely to succeed him, billionaire Arnault told a friend at a luncheon near the Champs-Élysées Avenue, "Well, I have 5 children." Then silence. This mysterious answer is billionaire Arnault's most recent response about who will be chosen to replace him at the helm of the business. And now, it's been reported that one tactic Arnault is using to determine who will replace him is to challenge his children over monthly lunches at LVMH headquarters in Paris. The Wall Street Journal, citing sources close to the billionaire, said Mr. Arnault begins each lunch by reading discussion topics aloud from his iPad before going around the table and asking each Pulcon person to give their feedback. Advice. He will ask his children's opinions about the company's managers and what they will do with the company, as well as whether any of their prestigious brands need management changes or focus. Since his children were young, Arnault has been preparing for the moment he decided to step down as head of LVMH. He took his children with him on business trips and taught them business lessons. In this fierce race, only one person will stand up as the heir to the world's richest billionaire, but all have learned a valuable lesson about patience, the power of knowledge and vision. The importance of solidarity. Regardless of the final result, this competition has proven that behind every billionaire is a story of perseverance, creativity and tireless effort. And WHO will be chosen. He appointed all 5 children to senior positions at LVMH companies, including Christian Dior, Tiffany & Company, Louis Vuitton and watch brand Tag Heuer. Billionaire Arnault said that the decision to choose a successor will be based on work performance. Among the children, Antoine has long been considered the best candidate. But there are also rumors that the eldest child, Delphine, will take over after she is promoted to replace her younger brother. The billionaire's only daughter appeared to have an advantage in the race in January after Mr. Arnault announced her as the head of Dior, LVMH's second biggest brand. Just a few days later, Ms. Delphine was in the front row at the Dior show in Paris, along with former England footballer David Beckham, his youngest son Cruz, British actor Eddie Redmayne and his journalist wife Hannah, Twilight, star Robert Pattinson and model Karlie Kloss. In January, it was suggested that investors had no sympathy for Delphine, while others described her appointment as head of Dior as a little gift from dad. We can see that one of billionaire Arnault's friends, businessman Sidney Toledano, said he believes that all of the billionaire's children can overcome any disagreements because they have been taught to put their interests first, of the business to the top. Right now, they get along very well, said businessman Toledano. People close to the family also said Arnault's children avoid talking about who is best at certain jobs or sports to avoid conflicts. Businessman Toledano said that Arnault is, above all, a practical person. At a certain point, you have to choose the best person considering the challenges. That's what he does with his managers and advisors, and I think that's what he'll do with his children. According to Forbes magazine's list, in April, Mr. Arnault became the richest person in the world with a fortune of $210 billion. The French businessman first appeared on Forbes' list of billionaires in 1997, at which time he owned a fortune of $3.4 billion. But as sales of the more than 70 luxury brands he owned increased, Arnault was able to enter the list of the 20 richest people in the world in 2005, by which time his fortune had increased to $21 billion. Over the past 3 years, Arnault has followed American billionaires Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos on the list of the world's richest people with third place. However, in 2022, he was able to surpass his rivals as the LVMH share price increased by 35% and the group's revenue increased sharply. Currently, billionaire Arnault lives in a beautiful 150-year-old castle northwest of Saint-Emilion in the French city of Bordeaux, with his second wife, Canadian-born classical pianist Helen Mercier. The castle has been owned by the billionaire family since 1998. There is also a villa near Saint-Tropez and a private island in the Bahamas. Besides, they also own other houses in New York, Miami, USA, and St. Bart's in the French West Indies. And the assets of the world's 5 richest billionaires have doubled in the past 3 years. It is a remarkable phenomenon in the world of business and finance. This incredible growth not only demonstrates their financial strength but also reflects a significant change in the way assets are created, managed and distributed globally. This raises many questions about the impact of concentrated wealth and resource distribution, as well as the role of billionaires in guiding and promoting sustainable and equitable development. In a report published before the World Economic Forum, WEF, in Davos, Switzerland, this week, Oxfam stated that the assets of the above 5 billionaires increased from $405 billion in 2020 to $869 billion last year. On the contrary, during that period, nearly 5 billion people worldwide became poorer. According to the report, billionaires today have a total assets worth $3.3 billion more than in 2020, despite many crises that have negatively impacted the world economy since the beginning of this decade, including the COVID-19 pandemic. Oxfam believes that global inequality is increasing, with the richest individuals and companies not only accumulating greater wealth thanks to rising stock prices but also gaining influence. Bigger, this organization believes that corporate power can cause inequality in the direction of creating pressure on workers, benefiting wealthy shareholders, tax evasion and state privatization. According to Oxfam, many states have given monopoly power to companies, allowing corporations to proactively regulate wages for workers, food prices and medicines that people can access. Additionally, around the world, private companies have lobbied heavily to influence tax policymaking, pushing for lower interest rates, more loopholes, and less transparent measures. Other transparency aims to pay the least possible taxes to the state, thereby depriving the government of revenue that could be used to financially support the poorest in society. Oxfam notes that corporate taxes have fallen significantly in member countries of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, from 48% in 1980 to 23.1% in 2022. This is an impressive phenomenon, reflecting their financial strength and influence in the global business community. This shows that they have the ability to manage and invest assets effectively, exploit opportunities and overcome challenges in an increasingly complex business environment. However, questions can also be raised about the distribution of resources and capital inequality, as well as the role of billionaires in contributing to the sustainable and equitable development of society. The review also poses a challenge to billionaires to apply social and ethical responsibility to their wealth management. To address the above growing inequality, Oxfam calls for a wealth tax on the world's millionaires and billionaires. This organization believes that this measure could help bring in revenue of up to $1,800 billion per year. In addition, Oxfam calls for limiting the salaries of chief executive officers, CEOs, and eliminating the form of private monopolies. This issue is not only a manifestation of their unparalleled financial power, but also a signal of a profound transformation in the way assets are created, managed and distributed globally. In this context, the role of billionaires is more important than ever, as they need to shape and guide an economic and social future that ensures everyone benefits from development and progress. If you find the video useful, please share with more people and subscribe to the channel. Like and have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for your interest in following. Hello and see you in the next video.